Let's start with a hard a truth as familiar as the harmattan dust. And you that is watching this video already knows this. Every 4 years, we are promised a festival of democracy and a chance to start something new and something good. But after those 4 years, we are left with the same bitter aftertaste, a mix of anger, frustration, and daily deja vu scenarios. The faces and party logos change, but the disappointment remains constant. It is not a prophecy of doom, it is seen as a chronic illness until we treat this particular disease and not just the symptoms. Nigeria election will continue to break your heart. To understand why, we must look beyond the day of voting. The election is merely the grand finale of a play that has been rehearsed for years. The real story is written in the long and quiet seasons in between the ballots. So let's get started. In any good democracy you see, there is a political season and a governance season. But in Nigeria, it has been all about the political season. From the moment a winner is declared, the next campaign begins. Governance become a subplot and series of action will be calculated for the next election. That road is not prepared for your convenience or even for your comfort zone. It is patched for your vote in the world it passes through. That appointment of any governor or president were never through merit. It is a settlement to secure a geopolitical zone ahead of the next primary election. This permanent campaign means that the common man needs, like steady electricity, quality education, and security, are never the primary and urgent focus. It is all about the person who just secured his seat in the election. The so-called common man needs are like the bargaining chips in a never-ending game of power retention. When the system is designed to prioritize winning the next election over fixing today's problems, disappointment is the guaranteed outcome, and such disappointment will surely become your best friend. Let's talk about money, for that alone is the crude oil of our politics. Why does a job that pays a public salary cost billions to contest? The simple answer is not that it is a job, it is an investment, and investors demand return of what they gave you for your campaign, whether you won or you lost the game. Think of the political structure as a pyramid. At the top is the candidate. Below them are the layers of godfathers, party chieftains, security agents, electoral officials, and even thugs, aka personal bureaus. Each layer requires mobilization, a polite word for payment. This money is not a gift, it is a debt that must be repaid with interest from the public treasury once you are in office. The common man who is offering only his hope and his vote is not a creditor, he is a spectator. The politicians' primary loyalty is to the network that funded their victory, not to the faceless masses who cheered for them or even supported that he or she is the right person to be in power. Therefore, politics will always favor contract awards, patronage, and budget padding because it is the only way to be repaying those debts over social investment that benefits the citizens. The mathematics will never add up to your favor. Take it or leave it. That is how things are done. We must also speak of the chains we are in since the day they gave birth to us, which is ethnicity and religion. The political elites did not create these divisions, but they have become a powerful conductors of this orchestra. When elections approach, the melody of unity fades and the drums of division becomes the loudest. You are not addressed as a citizen with needs, but as an Igbo man, a Yoruba man, an Hausa man, a Christian or a Muslim whose turn it is to rule the country. This is a magician trick because he is here to distract you with tribalism. While you are busy looking at your neighbor from another tribe as a problem, you take your eyes off the ball, which is the politician emptying the accounts in Nigeria. For me, politics is a constructed prison. It forces you to vote not because the person is competent or have wild ideas, but it is for themselves so that they know that an Hausa man or a Yoruba man will rule Nigeria for 8 years. It lowers the bar for leadership and guarantees that the circle of poor governance continues because accountability is not used. As long as we vote primarily based on who we are rather than what we need, we will be disappointed continuously. Just see it as one of those meals you hate so much, but you don't have any choice but to eat it. On election day, the theory is beautiful. You queue, you get accredited, you turn print, and your vote is counted. But your vote was never counted. It is a secret transaction. But in too many instances, this type of election is full of violence. We have ballot box snatching, intimidation, and falsified results. All of them still haunt our process in getting the right person to lead the country. When the people's will is perceived to be useful in the eyes of the politicians, that is the death of faith because the people's will be used and be dumped elsewhere. The citizens, especially the passionate youth, will begin to ask themselves these questions. Why should I risk my life for a game whose result is already written? The youth won't bother in the next 4 years. It will still happen right in front of them. When good people retreat, the field is empty and left for the greedy opportunists, and the disappointment will be that deep to the extent that you feel it very, very well. So, is there a way out? This is a bleak picture, but it is not hopeless. It is a call to clarity. Election will continue to disappoint if we continue to see them as the magical solution to our problems. Funny enough, they are not even the solution to our problem. The real change will not come from the perfect election day alone. It will come from what we do in the 1460 days between elections. So, my dear Nigerians, election will continue to disappoint you if you expect a savior to descend from the podium every 4 years. Do not put all your hopes in such baskets. The real power was always with you, not just in the moment you cast your vote, but in the relentless, courageous, and daily work of building a country where the election is merely a formality because the people already know who is in charge. The disappointment will end not when we find the perfect leader, but when we become the formidable citizens that no leader would take for granted.
If you are not running for president, sir, you have two main opposition candidates, Abubakar Atiku and Peter Obi, who people are saying, is the young upstart, and I mean that in a very positive way.
Young where?
Young upstart.
Have them been governor of Anambra 8 years?
Anyway, Your Excellency, if you weren't running for president, which of your two major opponents would you be voting for?
None.
Why not?
Because they are not as competent as any other person out there. They have no track record.